In this screencast, we'll cover what clients receive when talking with a Social Security advisor over the phone. Also, you should know this is an actual client example with the client's advisor and also the client's accountant on the call.
What is best for the two of you as a couple is that you file actually at 68 and 3 months, because what that does is that's the relative age difference between you and Ann. So basically you have about 2 years and 3 months between the two of you. And as you can see, when you're 68 and 3 months, basically Ann is then in a position to file that restricted application. And that gets her as a spouse, that's her first bullet point there. If you're following along on page 4 here, that gets her about $813 per month as a spouse. And importantly, that has absolutely no negative impact, Juan, on your record at all. So you would still continue to get your $1,919 that you can get on yours. She would get the $813 simultaneously. And that would happen for Ann all the way between 66 and 70 years old. So total, that's going to come up to what, about $46,000 in spousal benefits that she can collect. And while she's doing that, she would continue to accumulate what are called delayed retirement credits on her record. That means her record's going to continue to build by 8% per year. And the idea here is that at age 70, she would then switch over to her record, and she would be able to collect this $2,857 that you see there. So she would have maximized.
Plus the 813 as a spouse.
Not plus, actually, no, because it changes over at that point, so she can get the higher of the two. But what it would, what would be additional is, of course, your 1919. So together as a couple, you would come up with, what is this here? 1919, $4,776 per month as a couple once she switches over at 70. I'll mention two driving factors that are pushing this strategy. The first is that Ann still qualifies for this restricted application, which I explained before. So that's the first driving factor here to get that spousal benefit, because if she does not take this $813, that's literally going to be money that just sits in the system. So for lack of a better way of putting it, this is basically a free spousal benefit. The second thing, though, that's driving this, and this is very important because it has to do with the way survivor benefits work. When a spouse passes away in a couple, basically the survivor is in a position of being able to receive the higher of the two benefits, and the lower one drops off. So by getting these extra delayed retirement credits for Ann, this strategy here provides you with the largest amount of survivor protection for you as a couple going forward, because regardless of who were to pass away first, the survivor would then get this $2,857. So those are kind of the two main elements that are, that are working in your favor here with this. Basically, in terms of the actual dates of the filing, and this is another thing, if you are looking to implement what's on page 4 here, I would highly suggest that you consider using our filing service. Basically, we have the ability to do these filings for you. What we would do is about 3 months before these dates that you see here, so essentially on your the month of your 68th birthday, Juan, we would go ahead and file for you in that month, but we would turn it on effective as of 68 and 3 months. And literally 5 minutes later, because we would do a back-to-back filing with you and Ann, 5 minutes later, we would go ahead and take care of Ann's restricted application because that has to be filed very specifically in order to implement this strategy. And that would turn on the restricted application, the spousal benefit for her at 66. And following the conclusion of those filing appointment meetings, we would send you copies of both applications so you have those. The advantage, though, from your perspective with the filing service is really twofold. Number one, we do these filings literally every single day, so we know exactly how this needs to be worded and structured to implement this. The second thing, though, is most clients that use the filing service never even have to interact with Social Security, so it saves you a lot of time and hassle there as well.
All right. So, so I guess I'm looking forward to my 68th birthday. I never.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Or maybe N60.
Well, Matthew, thank you, and thank Jim for bringing you into this.
Sure. And thank you for Jim. Yeah, Jim, thank you to Jim for making the introduction here. We appreciate that.
Well, I'm very happy that I met you too. I'd like to get your contact information because I have, a number of clients that, we've never really gone through this. We just didn't really understand the computations, and we assumed that it was based on your highest 10 years, and that's not it at all.
Right.
No. They actually base it on your highest 35 years of earnings. And then beyond that, though, are those bend points that I mentioned. And then when you get into, having a married couple or someone that's divorced or a survivor, they have all different sorts of potential entitlement, like you can see here with Anne and the spousal benefit. So it's unique to every client case, but that's essentially what we help you sort out. So I'd be happy certainly to talk with you further. If you want to shoot me a quick email when we get off the phone, that might be the easiest way. My email is just matthew@socialsecurityadvisors.com. So be happy to do that.
Yeah, this is Jim. One of the things we look to do is try to find the right partners to bring to our clients. And when we found Matthew and his service, we went through a couple different types of providers who do this and arrived upon the selection of Matthew and his team at Social Security Advisors. I think there are two reasons. Number one, I think they know what they're doing. Their calculators are beyond the best in the business. They're great. I would highly recommend the filing service. To me, it's not. It's like, I don't know if you'd like to go to the DMV and get your licenses and things done. I don't. But if you want to go through the Social Security process, it's 10 times worse. So I'd highly recommend doing that for the Matthew. What's the cost involved with that?
Yeah.
The filing service. Sure. The filing service is a single one-time fee of $99.95 per filing. So total one for you and Anne over the years here, because you have yours at 68 and 3 months, her at 66 for the restricted, and then her at 70. So it'd be a total of 3 filings over time. It's $99.95 per filing.
So would you consider working for Cuban Cigars?
Those are probably worth more than the $99.95, I would think. So it's always a good Cuban cigar. It's never a bad thing. I don't think I can turn those down, but
range.
And this is another thought on that, Tom. And we have a relationship with Social Security Advisors. Oh, and Juan, you probably don't know this either, but if you go to our website, FirstCap at firstcapadv.com, which is our website. This is all in our resource tab now, so you can go into our website, firstcapadv.com. You can go right to the resources. You can find the Social Security link and calculators in there. You can play with the calculators on the free service, and then you can implement, if you choose to, move forward with filing that way as well. So we've set it up this way because we want to get this out there for our people, which includes you guys. Juan, if you want to do the same thing or have Andy go through it later, she can do it too. So it's there, it's on the site.
I got an email about trading an hour or so ago, and you, when I see you, you'll help me translate this to English.
Good.
And yes, I have your website, for your new revamped website. I haven't taken a look at that, but I will.
Okay, good.
And I get the point. So I should do this on my 68th birthday. Contact Matt, right? Is that the way it works? Or do I do it?
Yeah, or you can go back. You can go back through Jim. Jim can be in touch with us. However you'd like to handle that. So I'll leave that up to the two of you.
Could you give me your email address again,
Mine is Matthew@socialsecurityadvisors.com.
One word, socialsecurityadvisors.com, right?
Yeah. Correct. That's right. Yeah.
All right. So you're being inscribed in Outlook. That's almost like the book of life, and you'll never get dropped.
Well, I will take these data points and put these back into the financial plan. So when we look at the financial planning and look at cash flow out there in the future, I'm going to assume that this is the direction we're going to go, and I'm going to put these in so we don't lose sight of this, as it gets closer. So we'll always be looking at these numbers, knowing what they are, where they've come from, why they're there.